Good evening, everyone. This is old Granddaddy here again, and we're going to try to talk about a few things tonight that we've been kind of leaving out, not on purpose. And y'all bear with me now if I forget to say some things, but just remember this is all my opinion, the way I've seen it, the way I experienced it. Some of the things were handed down. It's the way I remember the stories being told. A lot of it is just nothing more than my opinion and the way I see things, but give something to think about. And if anybody wants to send any questions or concerns in, that'll be fine too. We hadn't been in too long. My wife and I went to a lady's home today, her and her family there, and she came and got some hay today and asked me to go look at one of her horses that she said wouldn't get fat. And as soon as I got there, I kind of figured what the problem was when I asked her how much horse feed she'd been buying, and I knew about how many horses she had, and didn't take long to assess the problem, but got it remedied pretty quick. And I just told her to do what my granddaddy had taught me to do when I was a young man, a child growing up, what I've heard him tell a lot of other people. I've seen people ask him, say, well, Mr. Lawrence, how you keep your horses so fat and slick? He said, well, I'll tell you a secret to it. It's easy. All you do is take that extra feed that he leaves in the box. No, I'm sorry. He didn't say extra feed. He said, take that feed that's left in the box. Every time you feed up, and you rub it up and down his back. And somebody said, well, there ain't no feed left in the box when my horse gets through eating. That's what Granny said. Well, that's what I'm talking about. Takes feed to fatten them, especially if you're working them hard. This lady's main problem was her horse was old and he needed a good worming, but he also was getting about a third the amount of feed that he needed. But it wasn't for a lack of being willing to take good care of him. He just needed a little more than the rest of them needed because of his age and whatnot. But and he wasn't in terrible shape. I've seen lots worse. But he'll come on out now, and I'm sure she's more than willing to do what, I told her I thought she needed to do. And she had another one there with a abscess foot she wanted me to look at. And since I had to quit work, and I still enjoy the horses, but since I had to quit that, I kind of try to help people where I can with some of their problems, whether it's health or disciplinary problems with animals. I can't do anything anymore, but, like I say, I can't do anything, but I can tell you how to do everything, so that's kind of where I'm at. But anyway, what I want to tell you about, preacher comes to see me today. Preacher comes now and then, ever since I've been down and sick for a long time, and he's been in our little church for many, many, many years. Long run for a preacher. He's a good man. But in this part of the country, for a Baptist preacher to be in the church that long it's an anomaly. But he's done a good job, and hope he'll be with us a lot longer. He's been mighty faithful to me. But like normally when he comes, we get to talking about old times and the way things are here in the South and the way it used to be. He's about my age, and we have a good time with it. He had a young man with him today that's just breaking into the preaching business. It seemed like a mighty nice young fella, but some of this stuff here in this part of the country may be a little strange to him. But somehow or another we got on the subject of words, Southern words, and how they use and how they mean different things in different venues. Different people use them to express different things. A lot of words sound exactly the same, would even be spelled the same, but have different meanings, and the pronunciation of the same word would have different meanings. And one such word that comes to mind is the word can't. And it's spoken here in the South. Some people say can't. Well, can't is really the proper pronunciation, I'm sure. Can't kind of, insinuates it means, not going to happen because it won't work that way, or not going to happen because it can't happen that way. Can't means it's not going to happen because I ain't going to do it. And that can't word reminds me of another word that sounds a lot like it, something totally different, but the word ain't. How many people in the South here's got a aunt or an aunt or an ain't? Now, a lot of people think that's the same thing. But if you ever experience an ain't, like what I'm going to tell you about here shortly, and I'm sure every family's got one or two, or has known somebody that had an ain't. Now, all that does mean a member of your mother's or father's family, one of them's sister or sister by marriage or whatever. Aunt, that's kind of people that a little bit better than some other folks, saying it a little different way. But normally it's folks that's got a little more money than other people, or they think they do. And there's nothing wrong with that. Aunt is probably the most common way people refer to their daddies or their mother's sisters, or their sister-in-laws, their aunts. I'm going to tell you about one of my aunts today. I had aunts and I had an aunt. And there will be another one like her. I hesitate to call names, but I don't believe there's any other way to say it and get the gist of it. Her name was Ethel. Aunt Ethel was Aunt Ethel. She was a dear lady, hard worker. She was my great aunt, or aunt. She was married to one of my uncles on my mother's side of the family, my mother's dad's brother's wife. But I got quite a story I want to tell you about Aunt Ethel. And it's a humorous story with a good life lesson. But anyway, she gave me a sign here I got to cut off. She said I run too long, but we'll pick it up another time and finish it up for you. And I might get off on a rabbit trail somewhere and have to do it a different time, but I'm going to try to finish this story about my Aunt Ethel here before too long. And y'all have a good evening. God bless you. And tune back into us. Remember to give us a like and a share and a subscribe if you will, so we can try to keep this thing going and have a lot of fun with it. Y'all take care now.